So, welcome today to a brand new video. Now, if you did watch the Grand Prix on the weekend, you would have saw that McLaren, they weren't very good, were they? They were P14 and P15 in the race, P13 and P18 in qualifying. That is not very good, especially considering I think me and everyone thought that McLaren would at least be top of the midfield, but no, they were a backmarker team and they were getting lapped. It was a horrible, horrible weekend for them. But will they be able to improve? Well, you will find out from my terrible opinions in this video. So, let's go. So yeah, the first thing is, I don't believe they've lost all that pace they had in Barcelona. Yes, it is a different track, so there will be tracks clearly where they're going to be shocking, but they're bound to have tracks like Barcelona. If they were that good in pre-season testing, I know it don't mean a lot, but surely when they're in Barcelona, they should be able to score points. Like, they can't have lost that much performance in a test at Bahrain just because their brakes are bad. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, the engine, yeah, that didn't seem good at all. That seems more like a Mercedes thing and there's an engine freeze. But I still think, like, there's got to be some sort of performance in that engine. I mean, the Mercedes isn't amazing either, but they're still the third best car on the grid, so there's still potential for McLaren to push themselves up from being, like, the ninth best car? I don't know if that's being generous or not, considering it was shocking for them on the weekend. But there's got to be potential there. They've surely got to be able to develop the car a lot as well. I mean, they've got the resources to do so, and you'd think they'd be working hard. Obviously, what hard work doesn't always help, but you'd think they would, especially considering, like, they're meant to be one of the better teams on the grid, and they're now being outperformed by Haas, Alfa Romeo, two teams who you thought would be on the back foot. You've also got to think how in the Bahrain test they didn't have a lot of running compared to the other teams due to their problems with their brakes. And Daniel had no pre-season testing in Bahrain at all. And, he still beat Lando, which isn't too bad considering the lack of testing. I mean, Lando must have been tired considering how much testing he did. But it's got to think, like, they were on the back foot coming into the race anyway. In Saudi Arabia, they're not going to be necessarily on the back foot because they'd have had the race experience, and they'll be gradually catching up, and they'll be working over the week to catch up as well in the simulator and try and work out their problems. So, although it was bad, awful in Bahrain for McLaren, they're surely going to improve. Like, I don't believe for a second that they're going to be worse for Williams the whole season, or at least Albon. Latifi is pretty horrible in the race. I'm sure they'll be able to improve over Aston Martin. Like, Aston Martin had a lot of testing, and their car was awful in the race. I thought it actually quite good, the Aston Martin as well, but evidently not. So, they're bound to be able to push themselves up a bit. Would they be able to catch up to the likes of Haas? That might be a bit different. I mean, McLaren, they'll have more resources, but the Haas car's good. I think that should be the benchmark, because the Haas is probably, I'd say it's one of the best in the midfield. It looks very strong, especially Magnussen getting P5 in the Haas. That is very good. And then Mick could have easily got points if the race just went his way. He's definitely shown potential as well. I'm sure the McLaren will be able to catch up to that eventually, maybe in a couple of seasons' time. But as I said earlier on in the video, it could be a problem with the engine, like just the Mercedes engine lacking speed, which does seem to be a theme. And if that's the case, they could have a problem there, as the engine freeze to 2026 could really make McLaren struggle if they stick with the Mercedes engine throughout. Another good thing for McLaren, I guess, is that they've been in this position before from 2015 to 2018 where their car just was rubbish and they bounced back in the end. Like, surely they can do that again. Now they're in a better financial position than they were back then. They've got the potential there. There's definitely potential there, especially with the drivers' optimism before the season. Like, they said they were kind of expecting it, but Lando was even saying in interviews that this could be the season where he gets his first race and his first race win, and then that looks miles off now. So there's got to be some potential there that they haven't found. If not, then it's just going to be a painful couple of years for McLaren fans. Ricardo fans must be thinking, like, he should sack whoever tells him on his moves, because his recent decisions have been a bit dodgy. And Lando committing to a 5-year deal, if the McLaren is bad, that could be a big mistake. Still be earning loads of money, I imagine, but a big mistake if he wants to compete for wins. Yeah, that's it. That is my expert analysis on will McLaren improve. Yes. Will it be a top midfield team by the end of the season? I don't know on that. But they're not going to be as horrible as they were around Bahrain. If you have made it here, congratulations. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think, if you think McLaren will improve, or if there'll be a back marker this year. Yeah, bye.